A warm welcome to another Essential Quinn video today. Today I'm doing an update of the excess deaths in the United Kingdom, specifically England and Wales, up to week 13. That's up to the end of March 2023. I have some interesting facts and information to share with you, including not just the numbers of excess deaths, but the categories of diseases that these excess deaths are being experienced in. So please stick with me right to the end, and I have some interesting information at the end to share with you as well. Here I have jumped to my spreadsheet database report, and what we're looking at are the 5-year average data sets shown in the green bars, and here the blue line are the total number of deaths by week up to week 13 in 2023. And I think it's pretty clear here that excess deaths continue to run significantly above the 5-year norms. Let's look at the detail. Here we can see that the total of the excess deaths in that blue line that I just showed are some 17,700 people. That's an increase of 11.5% above 5-year norms. Now, as bad as that is in itself, it must be stated that the norm is that after an excess number of deaths in any particular year, it is the norm that the following year we will see a reduction in deaths. And given that we have now had 3 years of excess deaths ranging between 85 and 55,000, it would not be unexpected to expect deaths in 2023 to be some 15 to 20% lower than 5-year norms. And clearly we see here that is not the case. So we are looking at some very significant trends occurring in the UK at the moment. Now, one of the observations here in the data is that we continue to have deaths involving COVID-19 at very substantial levels. The 7,000 odd deaths here represent 4 to 5% of the total number of deaths. Now, given that we have had pandemic procedures in place to prevent this happening and to reduce these deaths, then it's quite alarming to continue to see in the first 13 weeks of 2023 this level of deaths still occurring. Now, what is also interesting are the splits of deaths by age group. These age groups here on the left are as used by the Office of National Statistics, where this data comes from. And the most significant variance that we see here is in the age group 15 to 44. And whilst their absolute numbers of deaths are still relatively low, nevertheless, they are experiencing death rates some 20% higher than 5-year norms. The other categories of age groups are also experiencing significant death rates above 5-year norms. Let's now look at the deaths that are occurring by particular disease categories. Here I'm showing you a report that's produced by the Office for Health Improvement and Disparities. I will provide the link for this report in the information below. I've set the range in line with the first 13 weeks of the calendar year, 1st of January 23 to 31st of the 3rd 23. And if we click through these different disease types and we observe the bar chart at the top of the screen, what we will see is substantial excess death numbers by the different categories. Now, what is also more interesting relative to my own report is to look at this data in a cumulative way. So we click on here and the screen changes. And now we have 4 different data sets on screen. Here in the top left, we have the excess deaths by disease categories in chart form. In the bottom right here, we have the information by disease category, but this time in absolute value form. So here we see about 5,000 odd excess deaths, and here we see the number in detail is 5,301. And going down these different disease categories, we see cardiovascular 5,301, ischemic heart disease 2,500 odd, cerebral vascular 861, and other circulatory disease 3,500 odd, heart failure 3,000. Interestingly, cancer is actually lower in the 13 weeks of the year against 5-year norms. Now I've gone back to my main report, and this time I've added the detail for the excess deaths, mainly by heart and circulatory categories, adding up to some 17,937 souls. These are all somebody's mother or father, brother or sister. So sincere sympathies are given to all people who have experienced loss during this period. What is very interesting and concerning is that the level of excess deaths currently being experienced are primarily related to diseases of the heart and the circulatory system. Now, if we recall, there have been significant medical procedures being encouraged or mandated in the population over the last 2.5 years. And what has come to light are a number of issues with these procedures relating to myocarditis, pericarditis, thrombosis, heart failures. So it is indeed very concerning that we are continuing to see excess death levels within diseases that relate to these medical procedures. So please do educate yourself. Look, all the information is available online. Review it, look at it before you decide to have any further procedures. Thank you for watching today. I will leave you with some thoughts which I think are very relevant.